Welcome, tennis fans, and welcome to a monumental broadcast that has the entire sporting world buzzing with anticipation and pure electricity. You are tuning into our comprehensive deep dive analysis of what is rapidly shaping up to be one of the most compelling and dramatic narratives of the 2026 tennis season. The spotlight is firmly fixed on the hallowed grass courts of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, where history is not just being remembered, it is being actively rewritten in real time. The headline that has sent shockwaves to the tennis community and has everyone talking is undeniable. Alexandra Ela unleashes her absolute best mode as she prepares for a titanic collision against Australia's Maya Joint in the second round of Wimbledon. This is not just another match on the schedule. This is a generational clash, a battle of rising stars, and a pivotal moment in the careers of two young women who have already defied the odds to reach this stage. On one side of the net, we have the pride of the Philippines, Alexandra Ela. Seeded 29th at this year's championships, Eala has already shattered a massive glass ceiling by becoming the first Filipina player ever to be seeded at Wimbledon. She is carrying the hopes of an entire nation on her shoulders, and in her opening round, she proved exactly why she belongs among the elite, dismantling Mexico's Renata Zarazua in a masterclass of grass court tennis, dropping only 3 games to win 6-1, 6-2. Eala's confidence is visibly surging. Her strokes are penetrating, her movement is flawless, and her tactical execution is sharper than ever before. She has truly unlocked a new level of her game, demonstrating a fearsome competitive spirit that suggests she is ready to make a deep, historic run at SW19. But standing in her way is a player who has just authored one of the most stunning chapters in recent Grand Slam history. Maya Joint, the unseeded Australian powerhouse, is riding an emotional high that is almost impossible to quantify. Just days ago, Joint achieved a lifelong dream, stepping onto center court and doing the unthinkable. She defeated the 23-time Grand Slam champion, Serena Williams, who had made a highly anticipated return to singles action. Joint showed nerves of absolute steel to win that match in 3 grueling sets, 6-3, 6-7, 6-3. Now, the stage is set for an epic rematch of their 2025 Eastbourne final, where Joint narrowly edged out Eala in a heart-stopping third-set tiebreak. The stakes have never been higher. A maiden spot in the third round of Wimbledon is on the line. Eala is out for revenge. Joint is out to prove her giant slaying was no fluke. Buckle up, because we are about to break down every single angle, every tactic, and every psychological dynamic of this explosive encounter. To truly understand the magnitude of this upcoming clash, we must first dive deep into the remarkable journey of Alexandra Ela. For years, the tennis world has watched Eala develop from a prodigious junior talent into a formidable force on the professional tour. Coming from the Philippines, a country with a passionate sports culture but without a deep, traditional infrastructure for producing Grand Slam tennis champions, Eala's rise is nothing short of extraordinary. She has had to carve her own path, relocating to prestigious academies, dedicating her life to the grueling grind of the ITF and WTA circuits, and constantly proving that she can compete with the very best. Eala's game has always been characterized by its fluidity and intelligence. As a left-hander, she naturally creates awkward angles for her opponents, utilizing heavy topspin on her forehand to push players back and open up the court. However, the true revelation of the 2026 season has been her adaptation to grass. Grass is notoriously the most difficult surface to master. It requires microscopic adjustments in footwork, a lower center of gravity, and the ability to handle unpredictable, skidding bounces. Many baseliners struggle to transition their heavy, grinding styles to the slick lawns of Wimbledon. Eala, however, has embraced the challenge with remarkable maturity. Coming into this tournament with an impressive 10-3 record on grass this year, she is clearly putting hours on the practice court. We are seeing a more aggressive Eala, one who is willing to step inside the baseline, take the ball on a rise, and dictate play rather than just react. Her serve has gained a few crucial miles per hour, but more importantly, her placement and variation have improved exponentially. In her first round dismantling of Renata Zarazua, Eala's serve was virtually impenetrable. She controlled the tempo from the very first point, hitting through the court with a flat, penetrating trajectory that Zarazua simply could not handle. Eala's ability to transition from defense to offense in the blink of an eye was on full display. When she is in this best mode, dialed in and focused, she is incredibly difficult to break down. She moves with a feline grace, anticipating her opponent's shots and arriving at the ball with perfect balance. This is the version of Alex Eala that the tennis world has been waiting to see on the Grand Slam stage. Confident, aggressive, and utterly relentless. On the other side of this compelling narrative is Maya Joint. If Eala's story is one of steady, relentless progression, Joint's current trajectory is a sudden, meteoric explosion into the global consciousness. The Australian has always possessed raw power and undeniable talent, but consistency on the biggest stages had occasionally eluded her. All of that changed in her first-round match against Serena Williams. Let us take a moment to truly appreciate the magnitude of what Joint accomplished. Serena Williams is not just a tennis player. She is an icon, a living legend whose very presence on a court can intimidate opponents before a single ball is struck. Facing a 23-time Grand Slam champion, even one returning from extended hiatus, in the cauldron of center court at Wimbledon, is a psychological test that breaks many seasoned professionals. The crowd was overwhelmingly behind Williams, willing her to a triumphant return. Yet, Joint remained remarkably composed. Joint's victory over Williams was not a result of the legend playing poorly. It was a testament to Joint's exceptional level of execution. The Australian utilized her booming serve to earn free points under pressure, firing 10 aces and winning a massive percentage of her first serve points. But it was her return game and her fearlessness from the baseline that truly turned the tide. Joint refused to be bullied. When Williams hit deep, heavy shots, Joint responded with equal ferocity, taking the ball early and redirecting pace down the lines. Even when she dropped a 10-second set tiebreak, a moment that could have shattered her resolve, Joint regrouped, reset her focus, and dominated the final set. That victory is the kind of career-defining moment that can alter the entire trajectory of a player's life. It provides an injection of belief that cannot be manufactured in practice. Joint now knows, with absolute certainty, that she can stand toe-to-toe with the greatest to ever play the game and emerge victorious under the most intense pressure imaginable. She brings an immense confidence, that aura of a giant slayer, directly into this matchup against Eala. The historical context between these two players adds an incredibly rich layer of drama to this encounter. This is not their first meeting on grass. Just last year, in 2025, Eala and Joint squared off in the final of the Eastbourne Open, a crucial warm-up event for Wimbledon. That match was an absolute thriller, a grueling 3-set marathon that showcased the very best of both competitors. Joint ultimately prevailed, winning 6-4, 1-6, 7-6, capturing the final set tiebreak by a razor-thin margin of 12 points to 10. That match was a masterclass in contrasting styles. Joint relied on her sheer power in first-strike tennis, trying to shorten points and overpower Eala. Eala, conversely, used her tactical intelligence, her left-handed angles, and her superior court coverage to extend rallies and force Joint into unforced errors. The fact that their previous encounter was so closely contested, decided by merely a couple points in a final set tiebreak, suggests that we are in for another spectacular battle. However, both players have evolved significantly since that Eastbourne final. Eala has grown physically stronger and has added more venom to her offensive repertoire. She is no longer just a brilliant counterpuncher. She is a proactive playmaker. Joint, emboldened by her recent victory over Williams, will likely step onto court with an even more aggressive mindset, trusting her weapons completely. The tactical battle in this match will be absolutely fascinating to deconstruct. For Alexandra Ela, the key to victory lies in disruption. She cannot afford to let Maya Joint find a comfortable rhythm from the baseline. Joint loves a target. She thrives when she can set her feet and unleash her massive ground strokes. Eala must utilize her left-handed serve to pull Joint out wide on the ad court, opening up the down-the-line passing lanes. Furthermore, Eala's slice backhand will be a critical weapon. On the slick grass, a well-executed slice stays incredibly low, forcing the opponent to bend their knees and hit up on the ball. If Eala can use the slice to neutralize Joint's power and draw her into awkward positions mid-court, she can then step in and dictate with her heavy forehand. Eala also needs to be exceptional on her return games. Joint's serve is her biggest asset, If Eala can neutralize the first serve, perhaps by taking a slightly deeper return position to buy herself an extra fraction of a second, and aggressively attack the second serves, she can apply immense scoreboard pressure. Eala's footwork and court coverage will be tested to the absolute limit. She will have to play exceptional defense, absorbing Joint's pace. But she must also possess the courage to transition into offense the moment a short ball arises. The mental aspect for Eala will be paramount. She is a seeded player. She carries the expectations. She must channel the memory of that narrow loss in Eastbourne not as a source of anxiety, but as fuel for her competitive fire. For Maya Joint, the game plan is straightforward in theory, but demanding in execution. She must impose her physical will on the match. Joint wants short, explosive points. She wants to dominate with her serve and her first aggressive ground stroke. To beat Eala, Joint has to keep the Filipina pin behind the baseline. If she allows Eala to dictate the geometry of the court with her left-handed angles, Joint will find herself doing too much running. Joint must attack Eala's second serve relentlessly, stepping inside the baseline and looking to hit clean winners or approach shots off the return. Furthermore, Joint must be prepared to move forward. While baseline power is her bread and butter, the grass rewards players who are willing to finish points at the net. If Joint can follow her heavy ground strokes into the forecourt and execute crisp volleys, she will strip Eala the time she needs to set up her passing shots. The psychological challenge for Joint is managing the emotional hangover of defeating Serena Williams. It is a well-documented phenomenon in tennis. A player achieves a monumental upset, expending massive amounts of emotional and physical energy, only to suffer a letdown in the subsequent round. Joint must quickly turn the page. The victory over Williams is history. The challenge of Eala is the present. She must maintain her intensity and her focus, treating Eala with the same level of respect and determination that she showed against the 23-time champion. Beyond the specific tactics, this match is a beautiful study in contrasts. We have the graceful, cerebral, left-handed craft of Eala against the explosive, unapologetic, right-handed power of Joint. It is a clash of tennis philosophies, played out on the most prestigious stage in the sport. The significance of this match extends far beyond the confines of court. For the Philippines, Alexandra Ela represents a beacon of hope and a source of immense national pride. Every time she steps onto court, she carries the dreams of millions of fans back home who wake up at ungodly hours to watch her compete. A victory here, advancing to the third round of Wimbledon for the first time, would further solidify her status as a national icon and inspire a whole new generation of young athletes in Southeast Asia. For Australia, a nation with a rich, historic tennis pedigree, Maya Joint represents a thrilling next wave of talent. Her fearless performance against Williams has already captured the imagination of the Australian public, and a deep run at Wimbledon would cement her arrival as a major force on the WTA Tour. As we look ahead to the moment these two incredible athletes walk onto the court, the atmosphere will be electric. The grass will be pristine, the crowd will be hushed with anticipation, and the air will be thick with tension. Every single point will matter. This is not a match where either player can afford a slow start or a lapse in concentration. Eala must be ready for the initial onslaught of power from Joint, weathering the storm and gradually imposing her own tactical framework. Joint must be prepared for Eala's relentless consistency and her ability to turn defense into offense. The match will likely hinge on a handful of crucial moments. A breakpoint save here, a tightly contested tiebreak won there. It will demand immense physical stamina, but even more so, it will require absolute mental fortitude. The beauty of tennis lies in its unpredictability, in the unscripted drama that unfolds between the baselines. We have analyzed the statistics, we have broken down the tactics, and we have discussed the history. But when the umpire calls play, all of that falls away. It becomes a primal battle of wills between two competitors who want nothing more than to win. Will Eala's unleashed best mode, her precision, her movement, and her tactical brilliance, be enough to dismantle the Australian powerhouse? Or will Joint's booming serve, her crushing ground strokes, and her sky-high confidence carry her to another statement victory? These are the questions that make this matchup so incredibly compelling. It is a match that has the potential to become an instant classic, a defining moment in the careers of both Alexandra Ela and Maya Joint. As we wrap up this extensive deep dive preview, The anticipation has reached an absolute fever pitch. We have dissected the brilliant, tactical evolution of Alexandra Ela, analyzing how she has weaponized her left-handed game to thrive on the challenging grass courts of Wimbledon, carrying the immense pride of the Philippines with every stroke. We have equally explored the awe-inspiring, giant-slaying momentum of Maya Joint, who arrives at the second-round clash carrying the unshakable confidence of a player who just defeated the legendary Serena Williams on center court. This is far more than a simple tennis match. It is a collision of destinies, a rematch of their epic Eastbourne final, and a golden opportunity for one of these young stars to break through to the third round of the world's most prestigious tournament for the very first time. The contrast in styles, Eala's calculated precision, and court craft versus Joint's raw, explosive power, guarantees a spectacular showcase of modern tennis. As the tennis world holds its breath, we can only prepare to witness what promises to be a dramatic, unforgettable battle. Thank you so much for joining us for this comprehensive analysis. Be sure to stay tuned. Keep your eyes on the courts and immerse yourself in the magic of Wimbledon, because matches like this are exactly why we love this beautiful sport.